He's fast. I mean, that's the first thing that jumps out to you about Louis Rees-Zammit. I mean, he is quick. I know Patrick Mahomes said he was clocked at 24 on their sensors. You know, they're the same thing as the next-gen stats use, 24 miles an hour. So that's pretty fast. That'd be faster than Tyreek's ever hit or close to it.
What is up, Chiefs Kingdom? I'm Hayley Lewis, and this is Chiefs News Daily. Happy Thursday. We got Matt Derrick from Chiefs Digest jumping on with us. He's been up in St. Joe ever since the rookies and the quarterbacks reported. We got all the tea. First, make sure you like and subscribe right here on the KCSN YouTube channel, and let's get into it. Matt, we always appreciate you being on, and like we were just talking about, there's really nothing too exciting to talk about. Yes, it's exciting. The Chiefs are back. Training camp is happening. But, you know, last year we had the drama, right? It was all about the Chris Jones saga. Is he going to show up? Is he not? This year, it's like, hey, everyone's locked in on this three-peat. We really just want to see how the rookies are doing. So how is the, let me ask you this Gen Z thing, or maybe this is too millennial to even admit this. How are the vibes, Matt?
You know what? Vibes, Hayley, have been pretty good in St. Joe. Definitely, I think some kumbaya going on. Everybody seems to be in a good mood. You're right. I mean, there's not a lot of drama. There's really the only thing during this rookie minicamp that was even dramatic was just getting the first look at Xavier Worthy's.
Yeah.
The only time that the media got to see him was during the original rookie minicamp right after the draft, and then obviously before the first media practice or even the season ticket member events for OTAs, he tweaked that hamstring. So it was just getting him out there, seeing what he's got, how he is.
Yeah.
We got to see a big old wrap on his hamstring on Wednesday. Thursday went with the long pants, so you couldn't see the wrap anymore. I'm sure it's still there, but exactly, that's a veteran move on day 2. But you're right. I mean, there's not a lot of questions. Yes, the Chiefs have some players who are going to be starting on the PUP list, and you got B.J. Thompson dealing with his cardiac arrest and the aftermath after that and how he's doing. But no, there's no contract holdouts. There's nothing of that nature. So other than maybe some clouds looming over some types like Rashee Rice, that there's not a lot going on. There's not a lot that anybody's talking about, I think, other than pretty much college football 25.
Honestly, that is something to talk about right there. That's a lot to think about. But just really the fact that you mentioned it, some of the things are looming, and it really seemed like this past off season, it was like one hit after the other. Why are the Chiefs in the headline this week? You know, for negative things, and it just kept rolling and rolling and rolling. But after the Bugs situation, it seems like that was the last hit that the Chiefs, bless the PR team. My God, I do not envy them. But that is the last hit that they took, and really everything seems to be seamless as we're rolling into camp. So let me ask you about Worthy. You mentioned his injury. Yes, we didn't get to see him during the offseason program. Dealing with that hamstring injury, Reed kind of seemed to allude to it as if it wouldn't be that big of an issue. It still seems to be an issue, though. And then this jammed finger. Now, I know I'm not trying to make a big deal of it, but he said he jammed his finger. It was fine. He was back into it. You tell me, is this hamstring a bigger deal than it's being made out to be? And does the finger even matter?
I think with the hamstring, it's going to be wait and see and just how long. You know, obviously he worked on back-to-back days, so they're not too concerned about it from that standpoint. Andy Reid certainly seems to think that it's a done issue, and you're just, I think, hoping that there's not a setback that he suffers and there's not a recurrence with it. This camp with the rookies, I mean, it's not a full-speed camp. There's not even spiders and shells at this point, much less pads. So it's faster than a walkthrough, but it's still a little bit slower paced and more leisurely. This is really just a tune-up. So let's see what his workload is when the veterans get here. I mean, that will be kind of telling. With the 7-on-7 periods that they're doing right now, I mean, there's only about 20 plays and 20 reps in these practices. So it's a light indoctrination. I think it's a wait and see just what happens when these passes get up to strength. As far as the jammed finger, I mean, that's probably something that these guys and receivers have to deal with on a week-to-week basis. It happens. Probably just bad luck that it happened on his first pass, and it was pretty noticeable. I mean, you could tell he was in quite a bit of pain. It had to go get it taped up. But, I think he only missed maybe six or seven plays, comes back in, makes a couple of catches, and Said it was no big deal afterwards. So I certainly didn't see it slowing him down either yesterday or today.
All right, Matt, we'll wait and see. You know, Chiefs fans love that phrase. They love to wait. They're a very patient group. Another guy that they just really can't wait to see how he pans out is Louis Rees-Zammit, right? He's been the talk of the town and for a lot of reasons, and just to see that transition. Does he make the roster? Does he not? Is he going to be a player that contributes? Is he going to be on the return game? You know, there's a lot of aspects that you could really look at the potential of this player. You've seen just a little bit from him, and you guys even got to speak to him after camp today. So give me the 411 on this new guy.
He's fast. I mean, that's the first thing that jumps out to you about Louis Rees-Zammit. I mean, he is quick. I know Patrick Mahomes said he was clocked at 24 on their sensors. You know, that they're the same thing as the next-gen stats use. 24 miles an hour, so that's pretty fast. That'd be faster than Tyreek's ever hit, or close to it.
Yeah.
But you know, I also asked him on Wednesday about his 40 time at the International Player Pathway Program, because he clocked a 4.4340 there, which is not bad, but not 24 miles an hour fast. And I thought it was notable. He said, yeah, that was not his best day. He kind of had trouble getting his legs going that day, and that was evident because his broad jump and vertical jump that day were not very good either. But he says he's clocked in the high 4.2s and low 4.3s. That's fast. So I think that gives you just an example of what you can see from him speed-wise. Then the next part of it is really seeing how his skill set translates to football from rugby and how he adapts. And I think you're still seeing a learning curve. I mean, for what he's been asked to do so far, I think he's passed every test. The next question is going to be, what happens when he gets popped? What happens when he gets hit a few times? And, you know, I thought it was very encouraging on Thursday, rather, that he talked about the fact that, you know, things that he needs to work on are his pad level, holding the football, because he does still at times run a little bit too upright. You know, he still occasionally holds the ball more like a rugby ball and doesn't get, you know, 3 or more points of contact on that. So there's techniques that he still needs to work on. But the fact that, one, he seems cognizant of that is good. But the second part of it is going to be, and Andy Reid mentioned this during the offseason, is that he will make adjustments once he starts getting hit. So once they can put the pads on and maybe he gets some preseason action, he's going to learn exactly what adjustments he needs to make going forward.
Hey, I love to hear it, you know, and then that's what we're going to have to do. It's another wait and see how it all pans out, and basically give him a little bit of time. Hopefully camp is going to show a little bit more, and then the preseason, of course, going to be a great way to ramp up that skill set for him. A few guys to know, I saw Jared Wiley was speaking, also Hunter Norzad, and then a guy that a lot of people are very interested in is Kingsley Suamataia, especially with the left tackle and that positional battle going on. Very different, though, for an offensive lineman rather than a skill player to transition from college ball over to the NFL. The things that he's going to have to deal with. Maybe just quickly kind of go over, it's such a small snippet, and you've been able to see him a little bit during, you know, mandatory minicamp and rookie minicamp and things like that. Is it at all plausible that this guy could actually take the spot from Wanya Morris?
It is. I mean, I would be surprised if Kingsley isn't starting with the ones at left tackle when the full squad gets together on Sunday. We will see. We love that phrase again, but that would be my expectation. And, you know, I don't think there's any doubt. I mean, Chiefs, I believe, want Kingsley to win that job. It's not that they're rooting against Wanya. I mean, if Wanya goes out there and crushes it, they'd love for him to do it. But I think there's been a sense ever since the draft that the Chiefs feel like that this is their left tackle of the future, and they'd rather the future start sooner than later. So I think there's definitely rooting for him. It's just going to be, once again, we're going to learn when the pads come on, Hayley, about whether he's got what it takes, or either one of these guys have what it takes.
So we are waiting until Sunday, and when we see everything unfold, very exciting time, you know, obviously getting geared up for the 2024 season. Matt, always appreciate you being on. I'm sure we'll be checking in with you later this season.
Anytime, Hayley. Always great catching up with you.
All right, folks, that does it for another episode of Chiefs News Daily. As always, make sure you like and subscribe right here on the KCSN YouTube channel. Have a great rest of your Thursday, and we'll see you right back here tomorrow night.